Way back when I was in college, I was terribly conflicted between two career paths. On one hand, I really loved acting and writing, and I thought that would be a really exciting way to go. And on the other hand, I was very interested in the workings of the mind, so I thought that I might become a psychologist. After studying acting at Syracuse University and at HB Studios in New York, and then working 2 seasons in a repertory company, I actually cashed in my acting chips and decided to go to graduate school to study clinical psychology. And I took a job at a psychiatric hospital, a forensic unit to be exact. Yeah, you got it, just like the scenario in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Which was kind of funny because actually, just a year earlier, I had been playing Candy Star and understudying Nurse Ratched in Cuckoo's Nest. Let me say this right now. Ken Kesey was really spot on when he wrote that play, particularly since he drew his experiences from actually working in a psychiatric hospital. I worked there for 5 years, going to grad school part-time and working as a psychology intern. But we had patients there that were either too crazy to stay in the jail, or they were incompetent to stand trial, or they'd been acquitted by reason of insanity for some pretty scary acts. After 5 years of working there, with patients that sometimes scared the pants off the staff so badly that the doc on the unit was holding group therapy for the staff, I decided that psychology was really not the career for me. So I spent a few years working as a television and newspaper journalist, and then I moved to Philly where I thought I might be able to eventually get back into acting. And along the way, a funny thing happened. I not only married a psychologist, but I ended up with loads of psychologists as friends. So herewith, I would like to share with you my the top 10 things I've learned about dealing with psychologists. Number 10, if there was a psychologist in your life, you have to learn that a psychologist's hours don't always end really when a psychologist's office hours end. At any given moment, the phone might ring and it might be a patient in crisis. Well, there's only one thing you can do. You can try to really be understanding and just get back to those 20 games of words with friends you've been playing until the phone call's over. Number 9, realize that no matter what you are doing for a living, it will never be as important as what your psychologist is doing, no matter what it is, ever, at least as far as the psychologist is concerned. Number 8, psychologists need to complete many hours of ongoing education to just keep up their licenses. And this will undoubtedly mean that at various points in your life, you are going to trip over any one of the 40 books that your psychologist is reading all at the same time. Number 7, you can never win an argument with a psychologist. No matter what you say or what you're feeling, there's a diagnosis for that. So don't even try. You're only going to dig yourself in deeper, and by the time it's over, you're going to be the one who feels like you really need to be in therapy. Number 6, just because a person has a PhD does not necessarily mean that they know how to spell. Just because they know how to treat triskaidekaphobia does not mean they know how to spell it. Or any of a number of other words such as subpoena, weather, or, well, the list goes on. Number 5, in the middle of the most positive, happy moments, a psychologist may suddenly become overcome with concern about a particularly upsetting case. Forget whatever you were going to do, forget whatever movie you were about to see. You are now going to spend the next 15 minutes hearing a detailed but totally anonymous scenario about something that you probably never wanted to know about. Number 4, contrary to the belief of some, a PhD does not confer superpowers on an individual. PhD does not, for example, mean plumbing handyman dynamo. So try your best to dissuade your psychologist from attempting to fix anything in your house, especially the plumbing. Number 3, abstract analysis of seemingly unimportant incidents and conversations is endlessly interesting to psychologists. So much so that you may spend hours reanalyzing the meaning of something that happened so long ago that you can't really remember what it was that originally happened. Number 2, don't ever try using reverse psychology on a psychologist. It doesn't work. Been there, done that. Just trust me on this one. And the number 1 thing that I've learned about dealing with psychologists is that I am eternally grateful that, those many years ago, I went with my crazy, crazy heart and decided to become an actor instead of a schwick. Thank you.